Doomsday is coming to Grand Theft Auto Online. No, not the DC villain that fights Superman. Grand Theft Auto Online, the Doomsday Heist, coming Tuesday, December 12th. There is a trailer, and there's also words. So we're going to read the words first, then we're going to quickly watch the trailer without the audio. By the way, I have the trailer and this article linked below in the description section for you to feel free and go check out yourself. Then we're going to go over screenshots and see what we can find coming regarding the Doomsday Heist. A billionaire tech mogul, idealistic intelligent agent, socially awkward conspiracy theorist, please don't be run, please don't be run, and a neurotic supercomputer have been forced into an unlikely alliance to save San Andreas from total annihilation. As apocalyptic threats mount from enemies unknown, you and your criminal crew are enlisted to untangle the mysteries and eradicate threats spanning from the bustling streets of downtown Los Santos to the ocean floor, all the way to the inner depths of Mount Chiliad. In an epic new online adventure, the Doomsday Heist is coming to Grand Theft Auto Online December 12th, which is this coming Tuesday. So real quick, we're going to watch the trailer without audio so I don't get a copyright claim, because that has happened before. Then we're going to go over the screenshots, because I also have screenshots for us to check out. So here is the trailer, audio free. Once again, the trailer itself linked below in the description section. Alright, so this is how it opens. Guy's walking into a room, looks like a new helicopter, some guy, I think that's the billionaire tech mogul. Lester! It's Lester! He's back! Yes! Glad it's not Ron. Alright, Grand Theft Auto Online, the Doomsday Heists, and a new weapon, new outfits, military themed. The Osprey, that's coming. And it looks like the interior of the Osprey, I'm guessing. Oh, there's Lester. And there's a ballistic missile launcher, I'm guessing. And then there's that agent, and then there's this vehicle, and then there's like a, what, is that a B-2 bomber, I think? And then there looks like a high setup, and Lester yelling at people, and Deluxos! We got the Deluxos, and they can fly! And Agent 14, I just saw Agent 14. This is kind of cool looking. Explosions, and a new attack helicopter submarine with IAA involved, and then looks like a new tank as well. And then that supercomputer. And jetpacks! We got jetpacks flying off of Mount Chiliad! Jetpacks confirmed! Yes! Okay, so that's what we saw real quickly in the trailer, and I watched it a few bazillion times. So let's go ahead and go over the artwork first, because the artwork has some stuff in it that's really cool. Looks like we're getting some new weapons, and I don't know if the new weapons are like Mark II versions of new weapons, but apparently we're getting new weapons, obviously some new clothing. We're getting a jetpack, and I guess that has something to do with the Mount Chiliad mystery that's been there since 2013, so we're finally going to solve the Mount Chiliad mystery. And along with the Deluxo, it looks like we're getting another version of the Ardent. So the Ardent was based off a Bond car that could go into underwater. And looks like Rockstar listened to our complaints about the original version of the Ardent and decided, okay, well, we'll release a version of the Ardent that actually does go underwater and apparently does fire torpedoes at mines. And apparently there's going to be a submarine. And there's a new attack helicopter. So I'm sure all of you Hunter fans are probably sitting around going like, "Duh fuck, Rockstar! We just bought the Hunter, and now you're going to release an even better attack helicopter, potentially?" Maybe, maybe not. And there is also a new tank, and that thing has a very futuristic vibe to it. So we got kind of a stealth attack helicopter. We got what looks like to be an advanced stealth tank. Some new clothing, jetpacks, the Ardent, along with the Deluxo. We'll look at that in a moment. I'm calling that the Ardent because, like I said, James Bond. Anyways, so let's get into the screenshots, shall we? Alright, so the first screenshot opens at the very beginning. You're walking into this room, and really clearly you can see an image of the new advanced stealth attack helicopter, and I'm sure that's going to cost a pretty penny in order to purchase. So this is where you're going to go in, I guess, to be debriefed by Avon. Avon, by the way, is the billionaire tech mogul. And Lester, of course, creepy Uncle Lester's back, Jack. And then here's Avon in his iFruit laptop, and he's the one, I guess, who's, I don't know, leading this whole thing, and he's kind of concerned that there's some enemy out there plotting to destroy San Andreas and bring about the end, annihilation. The apocalypse, doomsday scenario, mushroom clouds, fallout, all those words were mentioned in this trailer. I guess you could say it's hinting that maybe this could be the final, quote-unquote, big Grand Theft Auto Online DLC. I mean, everything points to the end, right? And then he also insinuates that there are enemies like the Russians or the North Koreans, the Chinese or the Iranians, whatever mysterious faction, it's probably Merryweather, are aliens that's behind this whole plot against San Andreas. Who knows? All right, so Lester, yes, Lester is back. We'll talk more about Lester in a moment. He obviously has a new outfit, and I guess this is a heist setup, and it's you along with your 3 crewmates, typical to the heists of old. So good news. That's one thing we've been asking Rockstar was for more heists, because we all enjoyed heists so much when they came out 2 years ago. And looks like Rockstar's giving us one more heist, and hopefully it'll be a whopper. And then, of course, the logo, Grand Theft Auto Online, the Doomsday Heist. It indicates that there's only one heist, so I don't think we're going to get, like 5 more heists. I seriously doubt that. But this may be the heist to end all heists. It may have more than, 4 or 5 setup missions, the other heists besides Fleeca. So there'll be several setup missions leading up to the finale of the Doomsday Heist. A very similar formula to what those heists were. Most likely. I'm just speculating here. Alright, so here is what appears to be some new clothing, some new goggles, new masks, as well as a new pistol. It looks kind of cool. Another up-close shot of this new pistola. It's got a lot of attachments to it. Like, damn, like what doesn't it have on this pistol? A bayonet, I guess. Alright, so here's another shot of these guys. I don't know where they're at. They could be inside the submarine. This could be the submarine mission. I could be wrong about that, but one of the setup missions obviously entails, or perhaps the main mission, involves you diving down to the submarine. So it looks like we got some new weapons coming to the game. At least some new weapon skins, which means probably the either they're brand new weapons or else they're Mark II versions of weapons that already exist in Grand Theft Auto Online. Which does lead to another interesting point I'll get to in just a moment. And here is one of the new vehicles that we are getting, the Osprey. Well, that's what it's called in real life. It's a VTOL aircraft, more like a troop transport. And so I guess this will be kind of like an operations center in the sky. It looks like there might be a gun underneath the cockpit of the VTOL. So that might be the only weapon that you have access to regarding the VTOL. But it looks like it's similar to an MOC, because I think that this is probably the interior of the Osprey. I don't know what's going to be called in the game when it comes out. It'll be called something, probably a bird name as well. But the quote-unquote Osprey's interior, so it's going to be kind of like a command center, I suppose. All right, so here's Lester. Another shot of Lester in all his glory. He has returned. Hopefully this time we'll finally be able to get some of those sweet back rubs we're always teased with, right? Yeah, it's been 4 years, and I've been waiting for my back rub. All right, so he has a new outfit because what I've mentioned before, and I think this confirms it once again, that there's a time shift in Grand Theft Auto Online. So some of the content exists prior to the events of Grand Theft Auto 5 story, but a lot of the newer DLCs, like post-heists, exist after the events of Grand Theft Auto 5 story, including this one. So, like with Ron, Ronnie talked about, how Trevor and him were no longer together. Well, together as quote-unquote partners, because Trevor was living the sweet life in Los Santos, and Ron was all by his lonesome. So obviously time has moved forward in the Grand Theft Auto verse. And I just want to look at his laptop real quick, because that's some pretty cool stuff, some hacker stuff. Go frag yourself, cover your ass, and some other stickers as well. The interesting one is the free Lester sticker. Now, does this imply that, between the events of Grand Theft Auto 5 and now that maybe Lester got caught? Maybe Lester got caught along with Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. Well, I don't think Trevor got caught because of what we just mentioned regarding the Smuggler's Run update, but maybe, just maybe, Lester got caught and there was some sort of campaign to free Lester, because that's what it says, free Lester, which indicates that Lester ended up serving time for something, whether it was due to the events of Grand Theft Auto 5 story or something else entirely. So it's just a theory I have based on that sticker. Like, why would there be a free Lester sticker if he hadn't served time or was behind bars in federal prison for doing something, that eventually got him in trouble, even though he's like this elite hacker? I mean, even the elite ones get caught, right? All right, so here is the ballistic missile launcher, and it's crazy because there is a lot of military hardware in this update, and that's something that, I don't know, I feel like a military fatigue is happening in this game. I mean, yeah, this is a badass looking vehicle. It's not going to go very fast, and it obviously is going to be able to fire a lot of rockets at a lot of aerial targets. I don't know if you're going to be able to like hit ground targets as well with this thing, but it seems to be focused on aerial combat. So if you have like a squadron of attack jets or helicopters coming after you, and you're on the ground, this may be the baby to have, to deal with that threat. Now, my problem is that for half a year now, we have been subjected to military updates with Smuggler's Run, as well as gun running before that. And now with Doomsday Heist, it's even more military themed. So I was sort of hoping that we were going to get something a little different regarding the December update, but alas, no. Alright, so here is something interesting. We have Lester. We have this lady who I believe is the female IAA agent. So we're going to have the IAA involved. And then, look who's sitting over there. It's Agent 14. Agent 14 is also involved in the Doomsday Heist. So that is kind of cool. Next is another new vehicle. Looks like this armored truck with guns on it. Fairly fascinating. And it's another vehicle we'll probably be able to purchase. It looks like to be a six-wheeler? Yeah, I mean, it probably has some dualies in the back for tires. It has what appears to be two guns, a forward gunning and an aft gun. Probably heavily armored, able to plow its way through these cop cars with ease. And it could probably take a lot of damage. Maybe similar to how the MOC is. And that's another thing. It feels like a lot of these vehicles are just like updated, potentially better versions of vehicles that we already have in the game. In fact, vehicles that we just recently got, like with the Hunter attack helicopter and that stealth helicopter we just talked about a moment ago. Is this going to be a better version of the MOC? Faster, more maneuverable? I don't know. I guess we'll find out when the DLC comes out. Next is a new bomber. Speaking of like an updated version, okay, so we got the POS Bombushka, slow as hell, this gunship slash bomber. Now this thing is also a bomber slash gunship from, the two guns. There's an upper turret and then there's a lower turret. So you have at least two gunners on this bomber, which I think is a B2 bomber. Is it a B1 bomber? It's a very advanced bomber. Very sleek, very fast, very maneuverable. And here's a rear end shot of her. She's sexy looking. She looks like a nice big giant flying wing from days of old. And here's an up close shot with obviously one of the gunners using probably the upper turret on these poor Molotovs who did not stand a chance being blown to bits. And here's another cool shot of this B2. Looks like it's being fired at, and at the same time it's dropping bombs. So yes, it is a bomber. It's an extremely fast and maneuverable bomber. It also has protection with at least turrets, two of them, one at the top, one at the bottom. And once again, a much better version bomber than what we got with the Bombushka. So all of you that spent money on the Bombushka, you're probably sitting there going like, once again, da fuck, Rockstar, da fuck. All right, so moving on to the next image is probably one of the heist setup missions for the Doomsday Heist, which what appears to be, you're dressed up as one of these medics. I think they're medics. I think that says medic on the back of his green jacket. So you go in, you get disguised, you go inside maybe the hospital, because the hospital interior does exist in Grand Theft Auto 5 story, so they're probably repurposing the interior for this. And one of the setups involves you going inside the hospital. This is me just speculating. And, hacking a computer, getting some information, maybe some medical records or something important at the hospital you have to get for one of the setups regarding the Doomsday Heist. Now, for all of you wondering, well, does this mean that we're going to get to run around in medic outfits? I don't know. Rockstar's kind of anal about that, right? With the police uniforms, the garbage pickup uniforms. I don't know why, Rockstar. Why do you got to be like that? Just put that shit in the clothing store and let us buy it, for crying out loud. Next, Lester is having a nice little friendly conversation with the IAA agent and Agent 14. And he's talking about how you got bugs all over the place. Bugs here, bugs there, bugs you don't even know about. He's obviously very, very salty. Now, looks like in the top left-hand corner, I'm trying to think if that is... That looks like it's the Osprey. I think that's the Osprey. And it's obviously a hangar either at LSIA or Fort Zancudo. But I think that's the Osprey. And the supercar might be a new supercar. I could be wrong about that, because Rockstar does like to pepper in, things that become available in these trailers for the DLC. And so some of the regular clothing you've probably seen the 4 protagonists wearing, those are probably new clothing outfits, along with the combat outfits, obviously. So that white supercar could very well be one of the new vehicles coming with the Doomsday Heist. And then, of course, it looks like we got, I don't know if that's a new shotgun or is that like a Mark II version of the pump shotgun. I'm going to go ahead and say that's a Mark II version of the pump shotgun. That's just my opinion because it looks like a pumpy, and we already have a pump shotgun in the game. And this has a lot of new bells and whistles, some new weapon skins, and other treats as well. So that's another thing I was going to talk about real briefly is the fact that I think that this update is going to require probably the bunker, the MOC, as well as the hangar. For a lot of this content. Maybe not the heists themselves. You may not need it for the heists. You might be able to just do that with friends. But I think for, a lot of these vehicles and the Mark II weapons, you're probably going to need the bunker, the MOC for the attack vehicles on the ground. And for the air vehicles, in order to have them, customize them, and store them, obviously a hangar along with the hangar workshop. And here they are. We've been asking for this as well for a very long time. Coming all the way from the streets of Vice City from the 80s, the Deluxo makes its infamous return. Something I'm very excited about, aka the DeLorean. You can tell that it says Deluxo, and apparently it's Impante, that's the fictional car brand. So Impante Deluxo in Grand Theft Auto Online. And yes, in case you're wondering, they can fly, baby! The hover conversion system may not exist in our world, but in 2017, Grand Theft Auto Online, they have hover conversion systems. Yay! And yes, they're flying, and they're so beautiful. So I'm actually really, really excited about the Deluxo and the ability to take the Deluxo off and into the skies. Now, don't confuse this with the Ardent that we saw in the artwork. I think that these are 2 separate vehicles. Once again, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Most of the time I am, though. But anyways, back to the conference room. Obviously, they're having another meeting with you and 3 other characters, 3 other players, along with Avon, Agent 14, the IAA agent. They're having a conversation about the end times, destruction, doomsday, mushroom clouds, fallout, end of the world sort of thing. And then, I nearly skipped over it. Another new weapon. It looks like some sort of military off-road vehicle. It looks kind of badass. It has a gun on it. And we only briefly see it in a really short scene, but it's another vehicle that is most likely coming to Grand Theft Auto Online either on December 12th or it'll be part of Dripocalypse 2018, right? Yeah, so don't be surprised if not all these vehicles are available on Tuesday. I mean, they'll probably be available for us to use in the heists and the heist setups for the Doomsday Heist, but several of these vehicles that we're looking at, they may be dripped out over the next following weeks or months to come. Just like they did with Gun Running and Smuggler's Run. Yeah, that's probably going to happen. Dripocalypse 2018 coming to Grand Theft Auto Online. All right, and so this is kind of a cool room. And I think this ties into Clifford, the neurotic supercomputer that gets featured at the end of this trailer. So you have orbital cannons now, at least for the, I guess, certain setup missions. I doubt we'll be able to use the orbital cannon in free mode. If we do, I mean, I think that's like overdoing it on the griefing, right? You just see these players just having a good time, and then you're like, oh, you know what? Instead of going after them with a Hydra or the laser or with the Hunter, no, I'm just going to use an orbital cannon on their asses. Now, that's going a little too far, Rockstar. Hopefully that's not the case. But this setup is kind of cool. Like the interface looks really, really freaking cool. So apparently you'll be able to like scan through the map, and you'll be able to find targets and then lock on the targets, and I guess with the help of Clifford and the orbital cannons, you'll be able to make them go all splody. So I'm kind of sort of hoping that this feature is only for the heist setups. I kind of sort of don't want this in free mode because I feel like that it will be abused. Well, just like most of the other toys are in the game. And then another mission. Now this could be the mission, I don't know, but obviously a very important mission in the Doomsday Heist. We're going after a submarine lurking beneath the depths of the Pacific Ocean. And I think this is cool because of the fact that the Pacific Ocean surrounding the island of San Andreas is not even used. I mean, it's there, it's deep, there's a lot of things going on down there, there's some Easter eggs, but for the most part, it's dead. So at least in one heist setup mission, will be able to do something in the freaking ocean for a change. And I believe this is an updated version of the Ardent. At least that's just my opinion, these three Ardents heading towards the submarine. So, whereas they failed us with the Ardent when they originally released it, at the end of gun running, they have an updated version that actually allows it to go underwater. So this is not to be confused with the Deluxo that we showed off a moment ago. Then again, maybe it's not the Ardent. It could be. I think it's the Ardent. I don't know. It's obviously based off one of the vehicles that already exist in the game. I would say the Ardent, which makes the most sense because of the Bond film with Roger Moore, that the real life version. Well, they don't actually have a sports car that can go underwater, or do they? So anyways, I guess we're going inside the submarine, and there's a nice missile. I don't know. Wait a minute. It says Los Santos on the missile. So is this a missile silo on the island? Okay, so I think I'm wrong. Okay, I'm gonna back up real quick. Now, I don't think this is inside that submarine because it clearly says Los Santos. All right, so here's the thing. Whenever a country is building ICBMs, they're not writing the name of the destination. Like, they're not writing LA, or they're not writing New York City, or they're not writing this country or that city. They don't do that. So I think that this may be part of the bunkers, maybe a new addition to the bunkers where we have ICBMs. Or else this is just one specific missile silo. Maybe it's at Mount Chiliad, because Mount Chiliad will be featured in this DLC, which is kind of cool, actually. We'll get to that in a moment. So this could be some sort of secret, like, military, like, base bunker within the depths of Mount Chiliad where they have these ICBMs. And maybe this is leading to the finale, the final conclusion to the Doomsday Heist, the final showdown between you and this mysterious enemy, whoever the hell they happen to be. And in the end, it's going to involve using ICBMs to take them out. I really don't know. All right, so anyways, we're up at the IAA, and I'm assuming that this is in the IAA building. So maybe a lot of this stuff is transpiring in the... Because you have the FIB building, and then right beside it, you have the IAA building. So it's possible that all the meeting scenes we saw between Lester and Avon, along with Agent 14 being in there, and the IAA agent in the blue jacket, all that could also be transpiring in the same building within the confines of the IAA. Oh, and Agent 14 briefly says something funny as usual. I'm supposed to be at a potluck. That made me laugh. But moving on. Okay, so some more clothing options along with the weapons coming to Doomsday Heist. And once again, I think that either these are completely new weapons that we might be able to purchase from Ammunition, which I doubt, or they're simply going to be Mark II versions of weapons that already exist in the game, which once again implies that you're going to need the bunker, the MOC, as well as the weapon workshop in the MOC for these weapons, along with some of the ground vehicles, and unfortunately for the air vehicles, you will most likely need the hangar, along with the hangar workshop to go with it. And, okay, so these hunters and some ground units are attacking an interesting target, but they're not having much luck taking it out. And looks like this is, what is that? What is that? A Dubster 6x6. Yes, it looks like a Dubster 6x6 just got its ass handed to it. It looks like it got blown to bits by a brand new stealth tank, which we saw in the art just a moment ago. So, yes, we got a brand new stealth tank. I don't know what we're going to call this thing. The Super Rhino. We'll affectionately call it the Super Rhino for now. So, it looks really cool. And maybe, just maybe, unlike the Rhino, maybe the machine gun on top of this Super Rhino will actually work. Wouldn't that be fascinating? So, kind of cool. Maybe I'll bring back my tank, shows. Because, like, back in the day on the channel, I would do like the Dismissive Venture Mondays where I'd roll around in the tank through different parts of San Andreas and wreak havoc until I got blown up. Maybe I'll bring it back with the quote-unquote super tank, the Super Rhino. So I'm kind of excited about the Super Rhino. It looks sexy as hell, though. All right, so anyways, this is where Avon near the end introduces the neurotic supercomputer Clifford. So I guess it's kind of like Siri or some of the other ones that Google and Amazon have. And obviously he makes a smart-ass comment to Avon, the billionaire tech mogul. And then here we go, baby. this is something else that a lot of people have been asking in Grand Theft Auto Online for a very, very, very long time now. Jetpacks. And it's even like hinted at the top of Mount Chiliad. And, you know, other content creators have made videos, you know, speculating about what the symbols mean and what that could imply or not imply. Well, we're finally getting an answer in the Doomsday Heist. And apparently, I'm guessing that this is all taking place beneath Mount Chiliad, underneath it, along with perhaps even the ICBM missile that we saw a moment ago. So I'm guessing this is going to happen near the very end of the Doomsday Heist. So obviously we're going to have access to eventually purchase jetpacks. I don't know how that's going to function. Is that going to be something that you put in your hangar, or is it something you're just going to be able just to call up and have dropped off, similar to that, what is it? It's like that heavy armor, the Juggernaut armor, I think. So I'm guessing it may work that way, but it'll just, you call it up and then it just randomly spawns and you just hook up the jetpack and then you fly off in it. And I'm sure there's some weapons to it as well. So a lot of people are really excited about the fact that we're getting the jetpack as well. And they're taking off, you know, over the skies of Mount Chiliad off the battle. So here's some cool shots. And it looks like the jetpacks not only can like hover, but they can fly and they have weapons to go with them as well. So I don't know if the weapons will be customizable where you can like pick and choose what kind of weapons you want. But it looks like these jetpacks have rockets. And I don't know if they have anything more than rockets. Maybe you can like pick between whether or not you want rockets or machine guns or whatever. But anyways, good news. The jetpacks are coming to Grand Theft Auto Online, along with a lot of other very expensive toys on December 12th. The Grand Theft Auto Online Doomsday Heist. So we have a very interesting story. A new heist, the final heist, because Doomsday implies the end. So this could be the final big update for Grand Theft Auto Online. It may not mean the last update ever of Grand Theft Auto Online, but I get the feeling that leading into 2018 with, you know, hopefully Red Dead Redemption 2 coming in spring 2018, hopefully it won't get delayed again. Hopefully this implies that, you know, Rockstar is, you know, starting to segue from Grand Theft Auto Online towards Red Dead Redemption 2. Hopefully. So, yeah. I'm kind of sort of excited about this. The heists sound like they're really cool. Plus, you got Lester back along with Agent 14, this new guy Avon, the billionaire, along with the female IA agents and Clifford. You know, some interesting story and a lot of new vehicles, a lot of new clothing, weapons. Once again, military themed, and that I think some of us may feel a little fatigued with because of, well, you know, gun running as well as Smuggler's Run. And it's been basically half a year now, over 6 months of nothing but basically military content, back to back to back to back. So I can understand if a lot of people in the community, including myself, are a little fatigued with it, especially since some of these vehicles seem to be upgrades of vehicles that we just recently got in the game, like the Stealth Attack Helicopter. Seems to be an updated version of the Hunter Attack Helicopter, which we just got a few weeks ago. The B-2 Bomber, I think it's a B-2 Bomber. I may be calling it something completely wrong. I don't know. That seems to be an updated version of the Bombushka, much more faster, maneuverable, and probably overall a way better bomber to use than the Bombushka. So that's kind of my concern, plus the fact that I see a lot of dollar signs with this update. It's going to be expensive as hell, but hopefully the setups and the final payout for the Doomsday Heist will be well worth it. So hopefully it'll be a lot of money that we end up making, way more than Pacific Standard, even though at the time, you know, that was a pretty good amount of money we got payout-wise from Pacific Standard. Hopefully the finale for Doomsday Heist will be way better, especially since this content's not going to be cheap. So I imagine that they'll have the vehicles available to purchase, well, the vehicles that are not going to drip feed, you know, they'll be available, the day one vehicles, December 12th, and they'll have two prices, most likely. You know, the more expensive price and then the cheaper price based on whether or not you actually unlock those vehicles, cheaper prices in the various heist setups. So yeah, a lot to look forward to coming up on Tuesday. Kind of sort of dreading it. You know, money-wise, it's going to probably hurt us financially. It's going to break the bank big time. It's like the doomsday of the Maze bank accounts, right? Anyways, feel free and chime in below. I want to know what you guys are thinking about this update. Are you excited about it? Are you a little hesitant? Is this what you were hoping for? Is this what you were fearing? And what do you think about some of the vehicles? What vehicles are you most excited about? Which vehicles are you like, oh, not more of this, not more of that? Feel free and be honest and open about your views, your thoughts, your opinions regarding the Grand Theft Auto Online Doomsday Heist coming this Tuesday, December 12th. And yes, I will be covering it. It'll be on the PS4, Xbox One, PC, Tuesday, December 12th. Doomsday Heist coming to Grand Theft Auto Online this Tuesday, just a few days from now. And once again, be sure and chime in with your views, your opinions, your thoughts below in the comments section.